It's like you are in the water, the wave is just taking you to wherever it takes you. Mostly you don't have control on it, so you just keep yourself strong and just continue the flow wherever it takes.
16-year-old Ayan and his brother Farhan, who will soon turn 18, arrived in Malaysia 2 years ago on their own, without any adult relatives. Many questions rushed through their minds. Where is Malaysia? What language does the locals speak? Before their plane landed, they knew nothing about this unfamiliar land, and it was their first time flying.
It was not our wish to leave home.
Both Farhan and Ayan's parents were from Afghanistan. They fled to neighboring Pakistan in the middle of a civil war decades ago. Ayan and Farhan were born and raised in a town called Hazara in Quetta. While they had the opportunity to go to school, the circumstances of their birth meant that they had no documents.
Mostly we have never been, we used to live in a small part of it, so mostly we don't go out of our area. So that's why we really don't know about our side.
After they lost their father in an explosion, their eldest brother went to work in Australia. One afternoon, Farhan and Ayan left their house to purchase medicine for their mother, not knowing that it would be the last time they would ever leave their home.
We went many times, but this never happened before. But this time there was a local
checkpoint.
Yeah, there was a roadblock, so then we were stopped by the police and asked for documents. So we never had, so we had nothing to give them. So they said that if you don't have documents, so you'll be deported. They sent us to the police station.
The police detained the brothers for 2 days and their phones were confiscated. Then, along with other detainees, they were sent to the border and into Afghanistan, a land where both Farhan and Ayan had never set foot before.
It was scared, confused, don't know what to do.
The first thing the brothers did was to purchase a phone and a SIM card. They contacted their mother in Pakistan. She immediately told them that they must leave Afghanistan because some locals were hostile towards their family due to a feud years ago. She told them that if they were discovered, their lives could be in danger. Farhan and Ayan found supposed transport agents at the border and made 3 attempts to cross it. They failed every attempt, including trekking through the mountains, only to be forced to turn back.
It's just someone going in the forward. We have to follow him at night, dark, everything. So it's hard. So we have just keep following the man that who's leading us. That's it. So we have to keep continue for many hours, like maybe like 12 hours, even 7 hours. We never reached the other side.
Being stuck at the border, they decided to follow their eldest brother's suggestion to travel a treacherous 500 kilometers to Kabul, and then to find a way to leave the country by air. There, with money sent by their brother in Australia, they managed to obtain a passport, but it was at this point they found out that the relationship between Afghanistan and Pakistan had strained, and flights between the two countries were suspended.
They said that there's no flight going to Pakistan or any flight coming to Afghanistan from Pakistan, so yeah, you have no chance to go right now. So they said that maybe you have to wait. So we never knew that how long it's gonna end there.
As the urgency to leave the country mounted, they asked a travel agency which country they could obtain a visa with in the shortest time. Then came the answer, a country they had never heard of before. It was called Malaysia.
And no, we never knew anything about Malaysia. So, my brother thought that, yeah, it's Malaysia, so you can go there. Maybe we can manage somehow from there.
With just a few sets of clothes and some money, Farhan and Ayan managed to secure visas for themselves and boarded their flight to Malaysia.
When we came out of the airport, when the door was open, like the hot,
someone's throwing flames.
At the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, the two brothers had no idea where to go next. They rang up the travel agency in Kabul that helped them book their flight, who advised them to make their way to Ampang, where people with the same background as them seemed to have settled. Farhan and Ayan then took a taxi from the airport to Ampang and started roaming the streets.
We reached there at Ampang at afternoon, so it was like 2 or 3 p.m. So there was no one on the street. So we had to stay on the side street to look for someone. Then we were lucky, just after a few minutes, a few boys just passed us, and we heard them talking Persian, and they recognized, they saw us, and they realized that this too is new.
Miraculously, Ayan and Farhan were taken in by these men that they just met. It was here that they realized that their journey to Malaysia was not just a stopover before they made their way to Australia to be reunited with their brother.
At first we thought that we will be there for a few days or maybe for a few months, and maybe my brother will manage to take us back home. Then when we came here, we realized that the only way is that we have to go to UNHCR.
They applied for and successfully attained their UNHCR refugee cards. They also encountered the Suka Society, an NGO that provides education and assistance to minor refugees, which allowed them to live with a foster family and also to attend classes.
We were really lucky. We had our brothers at first in Soka, then there were guys who met in the first. There were people who used to, the first day when they came to Malaysia, they had to, at the nights, they had to stay at the parks. So, and then they had to find places for them. After that, they had to start working to support them. Even there are people at our age.
It is now Ayan and Farhan's second year living in Malaysia. They are currently waiting for UNHCR and the Australian government to approve their applications to resettle in Australia.
I want to have a bright future. Like, I don't know, in sports or in study, but I'd like to have a successful life.
Farhan and Ayan are currently attending classes at a school for refugees, where 4 teachers teach science, mathematics, and social studies. However, the classes are not accredited, which means that there is no clear path to higher studies once they graduate.
Because I don't see any refugee to go until university. I've seen them post IGCSE, but I have never seen. So for me, I think that's until IGCSE, or that's just the limit for the refugees.
Farhan will be turning 18 soon, which means that Suka will no longer be able to provide their services to him. With a long road ahead, we asked Farhan whether he feels intimidated.
Just keep patience to yourself, be strong. If it takes you to the island, so we used to live in the island, if it takes you to the country, just live like we used to that country.